Today we have a CEO and founder of Bag Magazine, Imelda Mwamanga. Imelda, welcome. So nice to have you today.
Wow, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be visited with Manara TV. And of course, I know you, Leila, so I'm happy to have you.
Yes, I'm happy to have you too. First of all, I'll just start with Bag Magazine. Can you please take us through this Bag Magazine, how it all started, where you are now, and maybe where you're heading to go?
Thank you so much. That's a good question. Bag stands for Believe and Never Give Up.
Believe and never give up.
So it's an inspiration kind of a publication. And we started in 2004.
2004.
Where were you at that time?
I was. I'm a 90s kid.
Oh, you're a 90s.
Yeah.
So we started in 2004 in April. I was very young, and I used to work at Coca-Cola at that time as a HR officer. I was just fresh graduate.
Okay.
So I got a job immediately. And one of my tasks when I was there was to work on a newsletter for the company. And that's what gave me like an open eye of how to collect content and put pictures and content, put it in a page and create a newsletter.
So back in the days, you never knew you had this passion of being a publisher, or you never even thought about doing this?
I started writing. I had passion to write from the age of 8.
8, okay.
Yes, I was very young. I used to watch Indian movies, and after watching, I would go back home. I mean, I would ask my father for money to buy a notebook, zile counter book. And then I would write stories, and I would take the stories to school. Students would read them, and I became famous at a young age at school. People reading my stories, but I never thought that one day that could be my career. It was just a hobby anyway. My parents wanted me to be a lawyer, you know.
Yeah.
So I graduated after my high school. I went to South Africa to study, and I started with BA law. But later on, I felt like no, it's not for me.
It's not for me.
It's not for me. So I changed and I majored in human resources management, and that's why I got a job as a HR officer at Coca-Cola. But now my passion of writing and magazine was just within me. While I was in South Africa, I used to collect different magazines, and I would put in my room. So people come to visit me, they will read about Essence magazine, True Love magazine, and different other magazines. Coming home, there wasn't a lifestyle magazine. I think at that time, in 2003, 2004, there was Kitangoma, Femina, but it was coming once in a while, and also Femina was very focused on HIV/AIDS awareness.
Yeah.
And I felt like much that we can write about instead of just talking about HIV/AIDS.
Exactly.
There were designers that were not well profiled or read about. There are women who are entrepreneurs that people didn't know about, and that's why now the start of Bag Magazine.
So Bag Magazine came from the inner voice you had and the observation where you've passed through in your life. It brought you to Bag Magazine.
Yes, exactly.
And where are you now with Bag Magazine?
It's been almost 18 years, almost 20 years to come. You know, in 2024 it will be 20 years of Bag Magazine. First, I will also take you back. It took us 3 years to break even. It was something that was new in the community.
Yeah, exactly.
So most of the time, we would publish and put it in the newsstands, and then people didn't know that it was a magazine that was published in Tanzania. You know, and also the advertisement was a difficult process. So it took us 3 years to be able to start seeing the money coming from the magazine.
People never knew it was published in Tanzania. Why is that?
They thought and I actually saw it one day when I went to a supermarket. There was two girls who saw Bang magazine, one of our old copies. They're like, oh my God, I've seen this magazine before. And the other one was like, it's a Kenyan publication. And I was just there, you know. So I was excited knowing that, you know, at Tanzania we have tendency, back in the days, we used to think we cannot produce something good.
Yeah.
It was anything good you see, ni ya nje.
Okay.
I took it that maybe our quality was good, and that's why people were convinced that it wasn't published, printed in Tanzania.
So maybe the quality or the language used
the language
in
is
the
in
magazine.
English, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I approached them and I told them that I'm the one who's publishing, I'm behind this, and they're like, oh my God, they bought it and I signed for them. So since then, that thirsty to create content to cover people, and then you see when you interview somebody and the magazine come out, that person gets calls that we've seen you in magazine, and they call you back, they're excited. I think that was something that it really inspired me, and I kept pushing. Yeah. So in 2015, we had major challenge. That took us to close the magazine for some time. So it was many of the people think that we are not back yet, or stuff like that, because the magazine was not in circulation. 2020 we came back, and then COVID came. So it was also a challenge. We came back, but there was COVID, and there's a lot of challenges. But we are still on, and we are working right now on our app. We're eventually going to have our own app. We are planning to have our online TV. So it's like Bank TV. You can see us on just like what you do. Yeah, I'm inspired.
So Bank Magazine wants to get in the digital side.
Yeah, because that was one of the things that was a challenge for us. 2015, the revolution, internet revolution.
Yes, and the advancement of digital.
So we were on the print, and the print you publish once in 2 months, while people are every day they give you news.
So right now the only way to access Bang Magazine is buying it from
the newsstand.
Okay.
Yeah. However, we partnered with few other people who have an online platform.
Okay.
Like Smart Codes, they have their own platform that they put our magazine on. And also East you can find our magazine on eastu.com. Yeah.
Okay. Just when I look at this magazine, the front page, I can see this picture of Naril and Aika, the artist.
I love the artists. They are really such a wonderful couple.
You can tell us about this cover.
Well, first of all, this was last year publication. Was last year March, I think. March, April. Was inspired with the Essence cover of the magazine that came out the same month. They had a couple and just seated with almost, I think, the same colors, red and blue. And they were sitting at the lounge, at their lounge, like sitting room with pillows and stuff. I love that cover. It was I think a Valentine's time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a couple, and we inspired by that. We said we need to have a power couple. A couple that have a beautiful story. And at that time, I think we had a couple of names, but we loved
the time I was growing up, I'm a 90 kid, I told you that. The time I was growing up, magazines used to be very common in houses, offices. I used to take magazines like this. I'm not so proud with what I was doing anyways, but I used to cut pictures.
I did that too.
I used to cut pictures from the magazines.
I did
You did that too, okay? So
and
we're not really proud about that.
On the wall in your room.
On the wall, on the wardrobes, on diaries. You just take really nice pictures. So I was thinking like, these people that create or publish magazines, how much time or how much do they invest in these photo shoots, in these pictures? Or maybe what's the most part that takes a lot of energy, I mean money and time in maybe is it publishing, content creating, or maybe the pictures? Because the pictures are really amazing. The magazines have amazing pictures.
It's a combination. For instance, our biggest chunk of money we pay the printers to publish. But you have a creative designer, and the better the designer you get in the market, they are also expensive. So creative designers is cost, but also it's a cost for, you have to do makeup, you have to take a photographer. So it's a combination of the cost.
Okay, so moving from Bang Magazine, you also publish books.
Yeah.
Which you have it right there.
Yeah,
this is about.
So Pivoting in Heels is our first book that we published. There are going to be many more that we're working on. Pivoting in Heels came out during International Women's Day this year. Yeah, and we featured, first of all, what exciting about the book is that it's been endorsed by the president.
Oh wow, impressive.
Mama Samia Suluhu.
Impressive.
And this is actually the original book that she signed.
Very, very, very impressive. Nice.
It featured about 60 different CEOs.
Okay.
Women CEOs.
Women.
The story about what we wanted to get from them was how they navigated during COVID era. When COVID came, almost so many companies closed down. Business was difficult to run, and these women, they ran businesses even during COVID, and some of these businesses, they even grew bigger. So we wanted to know their story. What were the challenges for them, and how did they navigate? How did they pivot to succeed in the business?
And why is it women? Because I'm sure COVID went to everyone, men, children, elderly also. Why was it precisely women?
Okay. So first of all, it was inspired with International Women's Day. That's why we launched on the 10th of March. But the book came out, just before International Women's Day. It's women because Bang Magazine is mostly focusing it for women. And why women? We did a research to know who are the people reading the magazine the most, who are our buyers. And I think 75 to 80% was women were the ones eventually, even if their husband would buy, but the one who's going to keep and read and keep it in the kabati, mostly there are women who are reading, and we felt that we need to focus to empower women to give back to the women. And that's why mostly my organization is focusing on women. Like I'm also personally touched to help a woman because I come from a family of only 2 girls, me and my sister, and she's doing very well right now, and we both decided to be self-employed. And
you're doing well as well?
We both decided to be self-employed, and we were inspired by our father. So most of the time, when I was 24, 23, doing my businesses, people were asking, many women, elder ones, were like, could you talk to my daughter? I really want to see my daughter also doing something like what you do. And I realized women need a push, encouragement, inspiration to be able to stand and to do bigger things because they have the capabilities to do amazing things.
I have noticed something. When a man does something big, it's just going to be like, okay, congratulations. And when a woman does something, it's like, wow, congratulations, and it's gonna be something really big, and people are just gonna bring it up so much. Why is that? Why do you think that happens?
The history itself, women were perceived as children bearer. Their wives' material. Like back in the days, it's not so long. Maybe you go back 30 years ago, there were like seriously less women CEOs. You would say maybe 1% of CEOs would be a woman. All political leaders, most of them they were men. So we were used to see men doing big things. And once you are a woman, even the parents at home, you would they will help you to go to school. You finish primary, then you are ready to get married. You know, most of the women, they were not inspired or being helped to become who they are now, you know. So that's why it's a big deal to see a woman doing big things. Of course, we come with age, but you know, the Beijing conference played a role, and then women empowerment programs came through. They played a big role. Now women are so much empowered. It's about time now to start empowering men, because I feel like men now are becoming that
inferior. Okay. So, how far does Pivoting in Heels goes, or Bang Magazine, all your publishing, books and magazine, how far does it go? Is it all over Tanzania, all over Africa, all over the world?
So you can find Pivoting in Heels on Amazon. So I have friends in US, in UK, they've bought it. So
Okay.
Bang, we're working towards making it on digital. So maybe Amazon could be an ideal, but also just we're building an app for it, and also partnering with other people who can put us on online, so we can actually purchase Bang online. But again, it's another project that we are working to create a digital version, Bang TV, so we can make videos that can be available. And for this Pivoting in Heels, if you want a hard copy, you can buy it at the bookstores like Mac Bookstore, Elite Bookstore. We have partnered with Tutume, who are also having our books. When you call them wherever you are in Tanzania, even if it's in a remote village, they can provide the copy for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, from my personal experience and maybe research, I have researched so many Tanzanians. They don't have a habit of reading books. This I must say. I have observed it
It's true.
myself.
Yeah.
Even just a small piece of writing, someone will just, even on the internet, you know, someone will just go, I'm not going to read this whole thing.
I know.
So what happens with books like
books
this? Do you really, I mean, how much do you sell them? Do you really, I mean, the business going right?
I hear you. Well, let's start with the magazine, for instance. Our magazine is it's lifestyle. It has a lot of pictures, very colorful pictures. So you find what Tanzania wengi, they like pictures. That's why in social media, ukiangalia kwenye Instagram, you see a lot of people are following Instagram because of pictures.
Yes.
So yes, our magazine also have a lot of pictures and beautiful pictures, because we take trouble to make people do makeup and stuff before they take pictures, and that's, I would say, it has supported our sales. And of course, like the people that you feature in the magazine, they tell their community, so you find that people are buying because they've seen somebody they know. Slowly we'll get there. When it comes to books, that's where the bigger challenge is, because a book would have less pictures, perhaps no pictures at all. So getting people to read just bare words is a challenge. However, our first book is also a coffee table book, you know, with full of pictures.
Okay.
And you know, we made it so simple that
it's a bit interesting for someone who's not really interested in reading.
So they
reading so much.
Flip, and they will know, oh my God, I know this girl, or I know this one, and then they will get to read eventually because they know them. I'm working on a book called Finding My Voice. This
Finding
is
My Voice.
My memoir, which is gonna come, I think, in a month's time. On the last stage of finalizing it. Now that one would not have pictures, but it's my true life story, you know, and I believe people like to read people's stories. I'm going to be launching my personal book, my memoir. It's called Finding My Voice.
Finding your voice.
Exactly. So it's my dreams, my goals, my passion, but also it's talking about the rise and the fall. because as a human being, we go through a lot of challenges.
Exactly.
Now, how do you stand after these challenges? You know, you get my book. It will inspire you. It will make you feel, you know, be sad with me, but be happy with me as well. If you understand what I mean. But with this book, I'm talking to many women who, due to challenges such as like divorce, or challenges like losing their partners, losing their children, losing jobs, or any other challenges that they face, that makes you feel like you lose your voice, you know. And then I encourage people to believe in what God has put in them, to stand for their passion and their purpose in the earth, and regardless whatever the noise that comes in, just to focus on your purpose in this planet. Yeah.
You've taken us through your whole journey and your work. Any other activity you like doing, maybe when you're at home, or any kind of sports you follow, or anything fun? Do you do anything? You like football, basketball, or what?
Well, I love football, especially because of the Masters. I love football.
What's your team?
I'm a Younger, by the way.
Younger. Okay.
I'm a Younger and
Really?
I had Younger. I'm not just posting whatever, but I swear I love Younger, and I'm so happy and proud of what Younger is doing right now. What else? I love to swim. I love to watch movies. I'm a home person. When I get time to chill at home, to me it's like everything. So I watch Netflix. I like to cook and to just stay home and enjoy and be lazy sometimes.
Okay. What's one last thing you want to tell the viewers?
Well, I want to tell the viewers that please support us. Buy the book. Buy our Bang magazine. We want to know people's story. This is a platform to showcase, to tell your story. So when you see us, support us.
Okay. I'm very happy you had time to come and talk to me. I'm personally inspired with you, and I'm sure so many people out there are inspired by you. You're doing a great job, and congratulations.
Thank you, Leila.
Today we had a lot from the CEO and founder of Bag Magazine, Imelda Mwamanga. She's taken us through her journey on her business, publishing industry, all the challenges she's faced, and her strength. But we're also seeing about we've heard about her book, Pivoting in Heels, and also the new book, The Voice of Finding My Voice. Once again, thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe our channel. I'm Leila Mary.